Yo, what's cracking everyone? Ericship 111 here. Now, since the launch of Forza Horizon 5, which was of course way back in November of 2021, the game has certainly grown a lot, and one of the aspects that Horizon 5 has probably grown the most is the car list, featuring nearly 900 vehicles. That's around 400 more additional cars that Playground Games has added throughout the game's life. Now, granted, within the first year of the game's launch, a lot of these quote-unquote new cars were returning vehicles from previous Forza Horizon titles, mostly from Horizon 4, which does make it slightly less impressive. But since update 19, we've had plenty of new to Forza cars introduced from different car manufacturers across the world, established brands like Ford to Hyundai, and even Toyota, which has been quite a nice surprise considering not too long ago they decided to pull out from almost every racing game in existence. Then we have less established manufacturers like Lucid, Wuling, and Nio also being introduced. Now, as we approach update 39, it seems as though every existing major manufacturer featured in Horizon 5 has had at least one new to Forza car introduced. Except for a handful that for whatever reason, Playground Games just seem to have sadly forgotten about or completely ignored. Let's first begin with the French automaker Bugatti, initially starting with just the EB110 Supersport and Veyron Supersport. The list didn't grow until the launch of Forza Horizon 4, where two new Bugattis, the Chiron and the Type 35C, were introduced. Then, during the life of Horizon 4 in Update 15, Playground Games would then release its last Bugatti called the Devo. And since then, we haven't seen another Bugatti for 5 years, which is a bit unfortunate considering that there has been some really cool Bugattis made since, such as the Bugatti Bolide, the Cento Dieci, the La Voiture Noire, and even the latest Tourbillon. Now, I know what some of you guys are going to say. Well, Eric, most of the cars you mentioned are already in the Crew Motorfest, and perhaps maybe the developers of the Crew Motorfest, Ivory Towers, do have an exclusive licensing deal with Bugatti to feature them exclusively in their AAA open world racing title only. However, if not, I believe Playground Games is easily missing out on a number of Bugattis that will certainly please many Horizon players. And speaking of high performance bespoke manufacturers, another brand that Playground Games has seemingly forgotten about is Koenigsegg. Now, unlike Bugatti though, the current roster featuring Koenigsegg's in Horizon 5 does sit a little higher at 8, which isn't too bad considering that from Horizon 1 through to Horizon 3, we only got around 1 to 3 cars from Koenigsegg. But it wasn't until Forza Horizon 4 where Playground Games seemed to have made a bigger effort in increasing the numbers, including several returning models such as the CC8S, the CCX, and the CCGT, which were last seen back in Forza Motorsport 4 on the Xbox 360, and a couple of new to Forza ones like the Agera RS, which arrived at launch, and of course the Jesko, which was introduced back in December of 2020 in Update 30. And now, almost 4 years later, no new to Forza Koenigsegg has been introduced since. Now, you could argue that perhaps there really hasn't been that many new Koenigsegg's worth introducing in Horizon 5, considering that most of their current lineup are mainly evolutions of the Jesko like the Absolute or the Attack, and even the CC850, although a fantastic vehicle, does share the same silhouette as the CC8S. But I always thought that Playground Games would introduce at least the Gemera at one point, given that it is Koenigsegg's most unique road-going vehicle. But who knows? Again, the Gemera is featured in the Crew Motorfest, or another solution is maybe, just maybe, bring back the Koenigsegg CCXR edition from Forza Horizon 1. The next two car brands come from the land of the rising sun. Now, granted, with the recent cars that Playground Games have introduced into Horizon 5, we have seen many new to Forza Japanese cars that I never thought we would ever see, like the JZX81 Chaser and the Lancer Evolution 3. Incredible cars, but the first Japanese car brand that hasn't had much love is Infinity. Right now in Forza Horizon 5, there's only one, yes, one Infinity in the game, and that is the Q60 concept. And that's it. I mean, first off, the production model does exist, so why are we still seeing the concept variant used? I have no clue. Second, where are all the other Infinities that were featured in previous Forza Horizon titles? Cars like the IPL 6 Coupe, the Q50 Eau Rouge, and even the G35 Coupe, even though I think the car model is rubbish and has only featured in Forza Motorsport titles, they have some cool road-going vehicles already existing in the Forza franchise, yet for whatever reason, the concept car stays. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, well, Infinity doesn't have any new cars right now that are actually worth introducing into the series, and while this could be very true to some, they don't have to be new cars they're actually making right now, just new to Forza. One example I can give is the 1990 to 1992 M30. I know it could be called the Nissan Leopard or whatever, but I think that would be an excellent car to at least increase the current Infinity car roster. But the final manufacturer that I'm absolutely shocked to have not seen a new to Forza car introduced is Honda. And I guess you can throw Acura into the mix too. The Civic FK8 Type R was the last road-going new to Forza car Playground Games introduced, which was way back in Update 1 in Forza Horizon 4, 6 years ago. I mean, Playground Games doesn't even support Horizon 4 anymore beyond the online servers. I mean, that's how long it's been. Now, in my opinion, Honda has been a bit of a funny case because if we wind the clock back to a game like Forza Motorsport 4, my goodness, did Turn 10 really include some of the best Hondas ever. The Civic EG6, the EM1, the Del Sol, and even the JDM Type Rs were all featured, but as time went on, they suddenly disappeared. Most of them never made a return, regardless if they were newly scanned or recycled, they're all gone. But to not see a new to Forza Honda like the Civic FL5 Type R, or even the new Acura Integra Type S, is certainly quite interesting. But there is a glimmer of hope. As you know, a couple of years ago, an email was leaked to Reddit where an official Turn 10 photographer asked an FL5 Civic Type R owner if they could borrow their car for scanning. So I think at some point we will most certainly see the new FL5 Type R, but the more interesting leak that has kind of been overlooked has been the list of body kit brands that were discovered late last year, which included Maxton Design, Robots Craftsman, Battle Aero, 777. I mean, all of these brands ended up being featured in Forza Horizon 5 at some point in 2024, but the one name that has yet to be featured is Tony Star Performance, and the only car I could find on Google relating to this brand was with the new Acura Integra. And I have to admit, as a former owner of a DC5 Type R, and not really being the biggest fan of how the new Integra looks, this version doesn't appear to look too bad. I would certainly love to see Honda and Acura get some love before Forza Horizon 6 launches, if that's going to be a thing, and for the matter, all the other manufacturers I've mentioned in today's video. I'm sure I've missed out on a few more car brands Forza Horizon 5 hasn't shown much love to either, and also what specific model would you like to see Playground Games introduce? Share them down in the comment section below, as I do read all of your comments, guys. But anyways, if you guys did enjoy today's video, please make sure to smash the thumbs up button, as it really does help me out. And of course, if you guys would like to stay up to date with everything Forza Horizon related, be sure to subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace.